Good afternoon, students. Last class we saw about the pressure volume work derivation followed by enthalpy. Today we are going to see thermochemical equations and then what is the relationship between internal energy and enthalpy we are going to discuss. So first we have is thermochemical equation. So it is a balanced stoichiometric chemical equation that includes the enthalpy change. So thermo means it is nothing but heat energy. So what is this thermochemical equation? Which is a balanced stoichiometric chemical equation that includes the enthalpy change means heat energy change del H, which means change in heat energy. So the following conventions are adopted in the thermochemical equation. The coefficient in a balanced thermochemical equation refer to a number of moles of reactants and the products involved in the reaction. So it is mainly the number of moles of reactants and the products in the reaction. So the enthalpy change of a reaction, so enthalpy change is delta H. For reaction it is given a small letter r, has to be specified with the appropriate sign in unit. So we have to give whether it is positive sign, negative sign, and what is the unit, all that must be specified correctly. When the chemical reaction is reversed, the value of delta H is reversed in sign with the same magnitude. So again, when the reaction is reversed means then if the reaction initially the delta H is in positive, after that the reaction has got reversed means you have to reverse the sign of the delta H also, which means the positive will become negative. The physical states, that is gas, liquid, aqueous, solid in brackets, all that should be specified in important and must be specified in thermochemical equation, since delta H depends on the physical state of reactant and product. So what are they saying? So when you're writing a reactant, oxygen reacts with hydrogen react to give water, so you have to specify the physical state. Oxygen is in gaseous state, hydrogen is in gaseous state, the product water is a liquid state, that must be specified. If the thermochemical equation is multiplied throughout by a number, the enthalpy change is also multiplied by the same number. So we are multiplying the equation by into 2 means then the delta H value also should be multiplied into 2, for example. Okay, the negative sign of delta HR indicates that the reaction is exothermic. So if we get the value for delta HR to be negative, then that is exothermic, and if it is positive it indicates it is endothermic. For example, we can consider the formation of water. So hydrogen, oxygen, they are all gases, you can see, and water again, the formed gas, it is formed in the gaseous state. Water, H2O vapors are formed, so everything it is specified. Okay, now they have mentioned the physical state of all the three reactants and the products respectively. So now delta H R naught value is a negative sign, 967.4 kilojoules per mole. So here they have reversed the reaction. So again 2 moles of water vapor will give you hydrogen and oxygen is reversed. So if that reaction is reversed means what we have to do, we have to reverse the sign also. So now it was negative, so now we have reversed that into a positive sign. Initially it was negative, in the reaction of reverse pannadanaala the sign also has got reversed. Okay, next is standard enthalpy of a reaction from standard enthalpy of formation. So standard enthalpy of reaction வந்து enthalpy of formation இருந்து எப்படி நம்ம calculate பண்றோம். So enthalpy of formation means F naught, delta H F naught. So the standard enthalpy of a reaction is the enthalpy for a reaction when all the reactant and product present in their standard state. Standard conditions are denoted by adding in the subscript 0 to the symbol delta H. Standard means at standard temperature and pressure in their own physical state, means they are mentioned in a symbol subscript superscript 0. We can calculate the enthalpy of the reaction under standard conditions from the values of standard enthalpies of formation of various reactants and products. So how to calculate the standard enthalpy of formation of various reactants? under standard conditions we can calculate. So the standard enthalpy of reaction is equal to difference between standard enthalpy of formation of products and the standard enthalpies of formation of reactants. So they have given change in enthalpy, standard enthalpy of reactant is equal to summation of standard enthalpy of reactant, that is product, minus summation of standard enthalpy of reaction of reactants. For a general reaction, for example, A, B, C, D gives a reaction. A and B are products, C and D are A and B are reactants, C and D are products. Means if you can see here, you have to just simplify the values of products. The products they have given, no summation of products they have given. So our product is C and D are our products, and then reactant is A and B are our reactants. So altogether must be given a curly braces, and in between the products and reactants should be given a open bracket. Okay. Next is heat of combustion. So for example, if you want to know, means this example sum they have given in your textbook, no, that is very simple. You just go through that and see whether you are able to understand heat of formation, a change in enthalpy of reaction from formation. Okay. Now moving on to heat of combustion. The heat of combustion of a substance is defined as the change in enthalpy of a system when 1 mole of a substance is completely burnt in excess of air or oxygen. It is denoted by delta Hc. So what they are saying, so hereafter we will see set of definitions only. What is heat of combustion? Heat of combustion of a substance is defined as a change in enthalpy of a system when 1 mole of a substance is completely burnt in excess of air or oxygen. So 1 mole of a substance எடுத்து ஆக்சிஜனில் burn பண்ணுறது தான் heat of combustion. So அதுக்கு எவ்வளோ heat தேவைப்படுதுன்றதை calculate பண்ணோன்னா that is heat of combustion. So heat is delta H, combustion capital C you have to add in the subscript. For example, the heat of combustion of methane is minus 87.78 kilojoules per mole. So methane reacts with oxygen to give carbon dioxide and water. For this the heat of combustion is minus 87, that is the reaction value is given, heat of combustion value. For a combustion of carbon it is minus 394.55 kilojoules per mole. So combustion reactions are always exothermic. So you are getting negative sign value, so which means they are always exothermic, hence the enthalpy change is always negative. Next is molar heat capacity. When heat is supplied to a system, the molecules in a system absorb the heat and their kinetic energy increases, which in turn raises the temperature of the system from T1 to T2. So what they are saying is the molecules in the system absorb the heat and hence their kinetic energy increases. So molecules என்ன பண்ணும், heat energy absorb பண்ணும். Heat energy absorb பண்ணுச்சு, kinetic energy, mass and velocity will increase, so they will move fast. So which in turn raises the temperature of the systems. As they move fast, system or temperature இன்னும் fast increase ஆகும் from T1 to T2. So this increase in temperature is directly proportional to the amount of heat absorbed and inversely proportional to the mass of the substance. So the heat absorb பண்ணது வந்து எவ்வளோக்கு எவ்வளோ heat absorb பண்ணியிருக்கோ அவ்வளோக்கு அவ்வளோ தான் kinetic movement இருக்கும். ஸோ அவ்வளோக்கு அவ்வளோ தான் உள்ள டெம்பரேச்சர் டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்கும். ஸோ இட் இஸ் directly proportional to the heat energy absorbed by the system, and mass indirectly proportional, inversely proportional to the mass of the system. So Q is directly proportional to mass and change in temperature. So they are saying it is indirectly proportional, so you have to bring in constant C called capacity, that is heat capacity. Q is equal to C, which means we are removing the proportionality symbol and bringing in the constant term C and rearranging this equation. Heat capacity is equal to Q by M, which means directly proportional to heat, inversely proportional to the mass. Okay, and change in temperature. So the constant C value enna அப்படினா Q by M into T2 minus T1. So Q by M into change in temperature தான் நம்ம T2 minus T1 கொடுத்திருக்கோம். இப்போ M is equal to 1 அப்படினா ஆயிடுச்சுனா then and T2 minus T1 is 1K அப்படினா we will get the value as C is equal to Q. M value 1 substitute பண்ணிட்டு change in temperature value if you substitute as 1, you will get the answer as C is equal to Q. Thus, the specific heat capacity of a system is defined as the heat absorbed by 1 kilogram of a substance to raise the temperature by 1 Kelvin at a specified temperature. So, what is heat capacity? So, C is heat capacity. That temperature enna? It is heat absorbed by 1 kilogram of a substance to raise its temperature by 1 Kelvin at a specified temperature. So, the heat capacity for 1 mole of substance is called molar heat capacity. It is defined as the amount of heat absorbed by 1 mole of a substance to raise its temperature by 1 Kelvin. So, the amount of heat absorbed by 1 mole of the substance to raise its temperature by 1 Kelvin the heat capacity. So, the other number 1 mole of substance ku sollum பொழுது it is molar heat capacity. So, what is the unit of heat capacity? It is joule per Kelvin per mole. Molar heat capacity can be either expressed as constant volume or constant pressure லையும் நம்ம express பண்ணலாம். So, according to that, if we write the first law, what is first law? U is equal to Q plus W. W means minus PdV தான் அதோட value. So, இதை ரீஅரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி எழுதணும்னா Q is equal to U plus PdVன்னு வரும். ஸோ டிஃப்ரென்ஷியேட் பண்ணும்போது that is dou Q by dou T with constant volume and dou U by dou T at constant volume. And what is dou Q by dou T? Dou Q by dou T. Q by T is nothing but heat capacity. Yes or no? So CV ன்னு எடுத்துக்கணும் அதை. So CV is equal to dou U by dou T. So thus the heat capacity at constant volume is defined as the rate of change of internal energy with respect to temperature at constant volume. So similarly, the molar heat capacity at constant pressure we can also do. That is for constant volume. Constant pressure also we can define as dou H by dou T. Bracket போட்டு இப்படி P போட்டிருந்தாங்கன்னா which means it is at constant pressure. So what is the relationship between Cp and Cv for an ideal gas? Very important question. For the definition of enthalpy, we know the definition of enthalpy, H is equal to U plus Pv. And for 1 mole of ideal gas, we know the ideal gas equation Pv is equal to nRT. Substitute the value of Pv in enthalpy equation. So H is equal to U plus nRT in கிடைக்கும். So when you differentiate the above equation with respect to T means dou H by dou T is equal to dou U by dou T. nR will be constant, dou T by dou T which will become 1. Okay. Now dou H by dou T just now we have identified dou H by dou T just now we have identified as Cp. This one we have identified as Cv and into nR. Now Cp is equal to Cv plus nR ன்னு இருக்கும். When you rearrange this, Cp minus Cv is equal to nR ன்னு கிடைக்கும். At constant pressure and the system has to do work against the surroundings. Constant pressure la enna pananum against the surroundings, against the atmospheric pressure thandi it has to do work. So hence the system will require more heat to affect the given temperature and it raise than at constant volume. So it will start to raise at constant volume. So always Cp will be greater than Cv. So atmospheric pressure against இது வந்து work பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா always Cp will be always greater than Cv. Now how to calculate the delta U and delta H value? For 1 mole of an ideal gas we have Cv is equal to du by dt and du is equal to, when you rearrange that, Cu இது ரெண்டுத்தையும் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணி எழுதணும் அப்படின்னா du is equal to Cv into dt ன்னு கிடைக்கும். For a finite change, we have finite change means what? A small change. Okay, for a good amount of change we will have இந்த u அப்படிங்கிறது கூட delta represents a small change. Instead of d is a very small change. Finite means a good amount of change is delta. Okay, and then Cv into delta T. So delta T நாலே என்ன? ஒரு initial temperature minus final temperature, which means T2 minus T1. And for n moles of an ideal gas we get delta U is equal to n into Cv. So n moles na you have to just substitute, add n here. Okay, and similarly for n moles of ideal gas we get Cv will get convert into Cp. So delta U is equal to, always internal energy is it will relate to the volume and enthalpy will relate to the pressure here according to Cp and Cv values. So you have to just change and write. Okay. So they have given the values of Cp and Cv calculation. Now we are going to see the measurement of delta U and delta H using calorimetry. So we have seen the calculation, how to calculate that we saw, and what is the relationship between Cp and Cv we saw. Now how to measure using calorimetry, which is an instrument. Okay, so calorimeter is used for measuring the amount of heat change in a chemical or physical change. In calorimetry, the temperature change in the process is measured, which is inversely proportional to the heat change, by using the expression. Just now we saw that expression, C is equal to Q by M delta T. So we can calculate the amount of heat change in the process easily using this calorimeter. And calorimetric measurements are made under two different conditions. One is at constant volume, the other one is at constant pressure. First is delta U measurement. How to measure delta U, that is change in internal energy. For this we need heat is evolved at constant volume. For chemical reactions where heat is evolved at constant volume, there should not be any change in the volume of the reactant whatever you are going to take. Now this is going to be measured in a bomb calorimeter. So the inner vessel or the bomb, the inner vessel means where we are going to carry the reactant or a substance. So that volume should not change from initial till till the end of the reaction, because at constant volume we are going to do. So the inner vessel, we can say it is a bomb also, because it is a bomb calorimeter, and its cover is made of strong steel. So the inner vessel will be there, whose cover is made up of strong steel, and it is fitted tightly with the vessel by a means of a metal lid. So if you see the picture, this is the bomb. Inner vessel is here. Outer that you can see the silver coating, which is fixed tightly now. Okay, now a weighed amount of substance is taken in a platinum cup with the, that is the platinum cup, which is connected with the electrical wires for striking an arc instantly to kindle the combustion. So again we have to take the substance. So inner vessel இருக்கும், அது உள்ள நம்ம ஒரு platinum cupல நம்மளோட substance போட்டு உள்ள வச்சிருப்போம். So அது உள்ள என்ன ஆயிருக்கு அப்படினா ஒரு electrical wires அதோட கனெக்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. For that அது அந்த electrical wire வந்து அந்த platinum cup மேல டச் ஆச்சு அப்படினா it will start the combustion reaction. kindleனா ignite பண்ணிவிடும், start பண்ணிவிடும் combustion reaction. So the bomb is then tightly closed and pressurized with excess of oxygen. So நல்ல டைட்டா close பண்ணிட்டு we have to pump in the oxygen gas. Now what will happen, the bomb is immersed in water in the inner volume of the calorimeter. After that, after doing all this, we have to immerse this in a water. So a stirrer is placed in the calorimeter space, in the space between the wall of the calorimeter and the bomb. So afterwards you will have a small stirrer. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு stirrer இருக்கும். So அந்த stirrer என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படினா insert பண்ணிருப்பாங்க in between the space between wall க்கும் calorimeter க்கும் இருக்க ஸ்பேஸ்க்கு நடுவுல நம்ம இந்த calorimeter வச்சிருப்பாங்க. So that we have to stir that continuously, so that water can be stirred uniformly. So அந்த நம்ம outer vessel சொன்னோம் இல்லையா, so அந்த outer vessel, so for example இதுதான் அந்த steel vessel, இதுதான் அந்த platinum crucible, இது உள்ள நம்மளோட metal இருக்கு, இது கூட வந்து நம்மளோட electric rods எல்லாமே அட்டாச் ஆயிருக்கு. ஸோ இதை சுற்றி நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருப்போம்னா வாட்டர் ஃபில் பண்ணியிருப்போம். ஸோ இங்கே தான் நம்மளுடைய ஸ்டிரர் இருக்கும். ஸோ இந்த ஸ்டிரரை நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், கண்டினியூஸாக புஷ் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருந்தால் தான் வாட்டருடைய ஹீட் வந்து யூனிஃபார்மாக transfer ஆயிட்டே இருக்கும். heating of water will be uniformly done. So the reaction is started by striking the substance to an electrical heating. A known amount of combustible substance is burned in oxygen in the bomb. So we have to take the known amount of substance. The heat evolved during this reaction is absorbed by the calorimeter as well as the water in the bomb is immersed. So என்ன ஆகும், உள்ள இருந்து ஹீட் என்ன ஆகும், அந்த சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் ஹீட் ஆக பிளாட்டினம் க்ரூசிபிளில் இருக்கிற சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் வந்து இக்னைட் ஆகி ஹீட் ஆகிட்டே இருக்குது. அது ஹீட் எல்லாமே என்ன பண்ணும், சில்வர் ஸ்டீல் வழியாக எலிபரேட் பண்ணும். ஸோ அது ஒட்டின மாதிரி என்ன ஃபில் பண்ணி வச்சுருக்கோம் வாட்டர். ஸோ அந்த ஹீட் எல்லாமே வாட்டருக்குள்ளே ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகும். ஸோ நம்ம அதை அங்கேருந்து ஒரு தெர்மோமீட்டர் கனெக்ட் பண்ணி நம்ம அதை மெஷர் பண்ணலாம். ஸோ வி நோ த அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் வி ஹவ் டேக்கன் ஆல்சோ. ஸோ இந்த தெர்மோமீட்டர் யூஸ் பண்ணுறது, the temperature note பண்ணுற தெர்மோமீட்டர் வந்து பெக்மேன் தெர்மோமீட்டர்னு they are saying. And since the bomb is sealed, its volume does not change, and hence the heat measured is equal to the heat of the combustion at a constant volume. So what they are saying, since everything is completely sealed, platinum crucible எடுத்து அதை ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக ஒரு சில்வர் வெசல், அதை ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக இன்னொரு வெசல், அதை ரொம்ப டைட்டாக நம்ம லாக்கும் பண்ணியிருக்கிறதுனால there is no change in the volume. That is what initially they said, at constant volume. So heat transfer மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும். இதில் amount of substance வந்து சேஞ்ச் ஆகாது. So the amount of heat produced in the reaction is equal to the sum of the heat absorbed by the calorimeter and the water. So எவ்வளோ heat produce ஆயிருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது நம்ம வாட்டர் வழியாக அது dissipate ஆகிறதுனால ஸோ நம்ம ஈஸியாக we can calculate. So heat absorbed by the calorimeter is equal to Q1 is equal to K into delta T, where K is a calorimeter constant to mass of the calorimeter and the heat capacity of the calorimeter. And heat absorbed by water will be mass of water and the heat capacity of water, mw, cw, and change in temperature, Q2 will be taken as that. And therefore change in internal energy will be equal to Q1 plus Q2. So you just substitute the values, and when you do that you will get the answer. We know that. So calorimeter constant can be determined by burning a known mass of a standard sample of benzoic acid, for which the heat of combustion was found to be -3227 kilojoules per mole. So நம்ம the heat temperature la வச்சு calculate பண்ணி பார்த்ததுல ஒரு example benzoic acid க்கு it was found to be this value. So the enthalpy of combustion at constant pressure of a substance is calculated from this equation, that is delta H C naught at standard enthalpy change under constant pressure is equal to change in internal energy and delta NGRT. So what are the applications of this bomb calorimeter? Bomb calorimeter is used to determine the amount of heat released in the combustion reaction. So எவ்வளோ heat வந்து ரிலீஸ் ஆகுது ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன் நடக்கும் போதுன்றதை நம்ம calculate பண்ணலாம். calorific value of food, எவ்வளோ ஒரு ஃபுட்டு பேர்ன் ஆகி எவ்வளோ கேலரிஸ் கொடுக்குது எவ்வளோ, ஸோ அந்த ஹீட் வழியாக நம்ம calculate பண்ணலாம். And bomb calorimeter is used in many industries like metabolic study, food processing, explosive testings எல்லாத்துக்குமே they are using this calorimeter. Next is moving on to delta H measurements. Now we saw delta U. Okay, now we are going to see delta H. So this is what we are going to do, which is this is again a calorimeter, but this is very simple. We can do it laboratory itself. So heat change at constant pressure, that is at atmospheric pressure liye we can measure using a coffee cup calorimeter. So schematic diagram is shown, we will see here. Instead of a bomb means what, or wooden setup with the silver, platinum இதெல்லாம் எடுக்காம we have to take a styrofoam cup means what, thermocol cup எடுத்துக்கணும், which is used in this calorimeter. It acts as a good adiabatic wall means what, temperature heat change irukadu and doesn't allow transfer of heat produced along the reaction and it to its surrounding. So this entire heat energy is absorbed by the water inside the cup. So ஈஸியாக என்ன ஆகும், இதுலேயும் வாட்டர் வழியாக ஹீட் வந்து டிசிபேட் ஆகிறது நம்ம தெர்மோமீட்டர் வச்சு கால்குலேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். So this method is used for the reaction where there is no appreciable change in volume. So same way ஒரு பெரிய சேஞ்ச் இல்லாத மாதிரி வால்யூமை நம்ம கான்ஸ்டண்ட்டாக மெயின்டைன் பண்ணுற மாதிரி எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். So the change in the temperature of water is measured and used to calculate the amount of heat. So by using the formula, Q is equal to mass of water and molar heat capacity of water and change in temperature. So if you can see this is the setup. You have to take a styrofoam cup, nested insulated cup எடுத்துக்கணும். reaction mixture உள்ள fill பண்ணிட்டு உள்ள ஒரு stirrer ஒரு thermometer fix பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா மேலே ஒரு stopper. ஸோ இது வழியாக எந்த ஹீட்டும் வெளியே எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் ஆகாது, உள்ள தண்ணி மட்டும் இருக்கும். இதை மாதிரி ஸ்டிர் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருக்கணும், நம்ம ஹீட் வந்து வெளியே நமக்கு டிசிபேட் ஆகும். So this is again very cost effective. We are not using any platinum like in the other way. Delta U measurement we are using silver, ஒரு complete setup which is involving a high cost of platinum crucible and all we are using, but here we have to just use styrofoam. So same way like there we can easily calculate the delta H value. So delta U can be calculated using a warm calorimeter, delta H can be calculated using this coffee cup calorimeter. This is very simple and very simple setup. So we have the applications for this also. Okay, and some problems and all you please go through one by one. So applications are there for this, like calculation of heat of formation, all that we will be discussing in the next class, like Hess law and all we will discuss in the next class. Do your assignments, please do your assignments before you are in trouble. Send your assignment on time.